The city of Santa Rosa grew along the banks of the Pecos River and has served along travel routes from those of the explorers of the 1500s to the travelers of Interstate 40 today. When Spanish explorer Coronado passed through in 1541, Santa Rosa's natural springs were watering holes along ancient Indian trade and hunting trails. In the 1800s, Santa Rosa welcomed cattle drives along the Chisholm and Goodnight Loving trails, both of which followed the Pecos River and water sources in and near Santa Rosa. Abundant water attracted Hispano ranchers as they migrated south along the Pecos in the mid-1800s, and Anglo railroad builders at the beginning of the 1900s. As a result, Hispanic and Anglo cultural frontiers met and mingled in Santa Rosa. The community on the Pecos River was settled in 1865 and was originally called Agua Negra Chiquita, or Little Black River, for the drainage 4 miles south. Santa Rosa was a minor community until the coming of the railroad in 1901. The original town site was established in 1901 by the Alamogordo Railroad Company, which set aside a full city block as a courthouse square, which was soon surrounded by business blocks. The 1908 courthouse employs handsome local brown sandstone. Its sandstone construction and 3-part ascending facade composition set the pattern for other prominent buildings, from the Elphil Johnson Warehouse and Pecos Theater to the Santa Rosa Junior High School. As the county seat and trade center for an area 50 miles in diameter, it boasted a full range of businesses and services, from stables, blacksmiths, hotels and boarding houses, to both a Spanish and an English language weekly newspaper, 2 banks, churches, schools, and a full range of stores. U.S. Route 66 was born in 1926 under the first proposal for a national highway system. Existing roads were networked into America's highway, and the original Route 66 alignment snaked through Santa Rosa on local streets and dirt roads. Early motorists paused in the business district for gas and food or rested overnight in the camps, motor courts, motels, and hotels that sprung up with demand. Railroad-era 4th Street has served as Santa Rosa's main street since 1901 and was a part of Route 66 until its 1937 east-west realignment straight through town. It roared past shiny new cafes, service stations, and up-to-date motels. Roadside dining was an important Route 66 experience, and Santa Rosa's locally owned and operated roadside cafes were famous up and down the highway. By 1940, Santa Rosa's economy rested increasingly on its position as a travel center, offering 4 garages, 11 service stations, 5 auto courts, and a car dealership. Federal WPA projects under the New Deal added further employment, notable in highway construction, the development of a federal fish hatchery, and the enhancement of recreation facilities such as the Blue Hole, an 81-foot-deep spring-fed lake. With improvements to Park Lake in the 1960s and the rise of the Blue Hole as a scuba diving training center, Santa Rosa promoted itself as a regional recreation destination, the city of natural lakes. During the 1960s, Interstate 40 was built to within 2 miles of Santa Rosa on both the east and west side of town, even as cross-country traffic continued along Route 66 past the courthouse. The 2-mile-long commercial strip that developed between the I-40 interchanges east of town attracted numerous national motel and restaurant chains. Employment here has helped support the population, but this automobile strip has also drawn other businesses out of the courthouse and downtown area, leading to its economic decline. Most travelers spend only 1 night as they move east or west across the country, which supports a stable but not growing economy. In 2003, community leaders invited the University of New Mexico School of Architecture and Planning to work with them on a community revitalization plan. Based on community input from public meetings and student research on the city, the students developed a series of design options and ideas that were refined into the proposals set forth in the 2004 plan. The guiding principle articulated by community leaders and made tangible in these options called for the revitalization of Santa Rosa's natural and historic amenities, both for the use of residents and for economic development through increased recreational and heritage tourism. These steps will enhance community life, while also providing attractions that will hold some visitors beyond the typical one-night stay. Among the DPAC plan's proposals are the reestablishment of the courthouse plaza, as well as the adaptive reuse of the historic courthouse, the redevelopment of the historic Elphil Johnson Warehouse, the construction of a Blue Hole Conference Center including meeting rooms, a dive shop, and other amenities to be shared by local residents and visiting scuba diving instructors and students. Using a variety of funding sources such as the Local Economic Development Act, or LEDA, lodgers tax funds, capital outlay, governor's funds, community development block grants, or CDBG, and a 1/4% tax on gross receipts, the City of Santa Rosa has either implemented or is in the process of implementing the recommendations of the 2004 DPAC plan.